Hey guys, it's Darcy Lacouvet here. We're checking out the brand spanking new iPhone 5 versus the Galaxy Nexus. What's great about this particular comparison is that we have the latest version of operating system from Android, Android 4.1 Jelly Bean, with its lightning fast operation, Google Now, and a whole lot more baked in. And we also have iPhone 5 with the latest version of iOS, iOS 6, which obviously is supposed to be their latest and greatest operating system. What's interesting to see obviously is a lot of the features that were present in Android for some time now obviously have been baked in some fashion in terms of Facebook integration, other social sharing, and other little subtle improvements. But we still have no real true customization on iPhone, but for some people that's okay. Either way, platforms aside, let's just take a look at the specs. So first, let's start with the size. So for the Samsung Galaxy Nexus, we have a 5.33 inch tall, we have 2.67 inches wide, and we have a width of 0.35 inches. For the iPhone 5, we have 4.87 inches of height, we have a 2.31 inch of width, and we have a thinness of 0.3 inches. So 0.3 inches thick or thin for the iPhone 5 and 0.35 inches thick, for the Galaxy Nexus. Obviously the iPhone 5 is 0.05 inches thinner. Negligible to some, but comparably speaking, the iPhone 5 feels quite a bit thinner in the hand. In terms of the weight, the Galaxy Nexus is weighing in at 135 grams, making it a little bit heavier than the 112 grams of the iPhone 5. Now in terms of the processor, we have a TI OMAP 4460 dual-core 1.2 GHz in the Galaxy Nexus. Thankfully, due to the inherent architectural upgrades and the just general cleanup of the operating system with Jelly Bean Android 4.1, things are 60 frames a second, butter smooth. Project Butter has done wonders for the Galaxy Nexus, and if you've ever used a Nexus 7 or Galaxy Nexus with the JB, you know how fast and smooth it is. For the iPhone 5, they have a A6 processor, which they designed themselves. It's a dual core as well, just like the Galaxy Nexus, but it's only clocked at 1000 megahertz. So, 1200 megahertz dual core with older generation technology, ARM A9, versus A6 processor designed by Apple, dual core as well, but only 1000 megahertz. Performance-wise, both are comparable, though it should be noted that this is substantially more powerful, likely to be in the range of 2 times as powerful, thanks to the fact that they pretty much built the SoC themselves with help from ARM, borrowing some designs from ARM. Moving on to the RAM, both devices feature 1 gig of RAM, so they're on par there. Now, obviously, the most important thing about smartphones pretty much is the display, because it's what you look at, interact with, and it's how you see and toy with the device. Or work with it, depending. Toy, work, just joking. Anyway, we have a 4.65 inch display on the Galaxy Nexus with a resolution of 720 by 1280 pixels, giving a PPI of 316. On the iPhone 5, we have 4 inches diagonally with 1136 pixels, which is very irregular, mind you, but it's 1136 high and it's 640 wide, giving it a PPI of 326. So 326 PPI, pixels per inch on the iPhone 5, and PPI of 316 on the Galaxy Nexus, making them very, very close. And considering that you have a 4.65 versus 4, it's a fair trade-off. And quite frankly, I would really like to challenge anyone to be able to tell the difference in terms of seeing pixels, because when you get over 300 pixels per inch on a mobile device, it's impossible to see. So Samsung Galaxy Nexus features 16 gigabyte and 32 gigabyte iterations for its internal storage, whereas the iPhone 5 has 16, 32, and 64 gigabyte. If money is no object, obviously you get the 64 gigabyte from iPhone and you can just fill it to the brim through iTunes. Now with this one, of course, with the micro USB, you're able to just throw content on there, no problem. Obviously both feature a lot of cloud connectivity in terms of bringing content on, but not everyone has an unlimited 4G plan. In fact, I would reckon to say that very, very few people have unlimited mobile broadband. So sometimes it's nice to be able to have a lot of mobile capacity on the go. Though, both don't have micro SD capabilities, so they are on equal playing ground there as well. The battery on the Galaxy Nexus is going to be 1750 milliamp hours, making it a smaller battery compared to some like the Galaxy S3 with its 2100 milliamp battery, but still large enough. Now if you are packing an LTE version of this device, it's not going to be enough to get you through the day if you are a mobile hound like most of us Android lovers are. So it's still, though, at 1750 milliamp hours, for its HSPA variant and 1850 milliamp hours for the LTE variant respectively, still larger than the 1400 milliamp hours present in the iPhone 5, though we have to subject more intensive testing to see how it holds up. But I would say that they would be comparable due to the fact that this has a 4.65 inch and this has a 4 inch, and this battery is roughly 25% larger. So anyway, in terms of the rear camera, this is an older generation device, and Google and Samsung received a lot of flack, but it is a 5 megapixel camera, whereas on the iPhone 5 we have an 8 megapixel camera. Now both do feature 1080p video recording, so that's not a problem. They both have autofocus and they both have LED flash. Either way, I would have to hand it to the iPhone. I do believe that the camera will likely produce better quality pictures than the Samsung Galaxy Nexus. Though, if you live in the States, you can get the Google Galaxy Nexus or the Samsung Galaxy Nexus for as low as $349, making it a very, very good price, particularly considering that it already has Android 4.1 Jelly Bean out of the box. So, moving on to the front-facing camera, for the Galaxy Nexus we have a 1.3 megapixel 720p video, and so for the iPhone we have a 1.2 megapixel, also capable of 720p video. Now, this one features NFC for Google Wallet functionality and for other things such as the ability to share contact with other Galaxy Nexus and NFC capable devices, whereby you can just tap them together and contacts are transmitted. NFC stands for near field communication. It's similar to Bluetooth, a lot more power efficient, but also shorter range. Other than that, we have LTE, HSDPA, HSPA capabilities for the Galaxy Nexus, depending on the iteration. Obviously features Wi-Fi and Bluetooth 3.0. Now this is an LTE capable device, also an HSPA capable device as well. It does have Wi-Fi and it does have Bluetooth 4.0, whereas this one only has Bluetooth 3.0. A small thing for some, but could be potentially a big thing. Bluetooth 4.0 does represent an architectural improvement over Bluetooth 3, so if you tend to stream music in the car a lot, you will have a higher bandwidth and more power savings with the iPhone 5. And also better audio transmission quality due to the fact that there is better data transmission with Bluetooth 4. So, let's just take a look here. Okay, so we have Google Now, which is the latest and greatest. We have Siri here. Okay. Who is the smartest person? Who is the smartest person that ever lived? Who is the smartest person that ever lived? Well, so we can see that Google Now has brought it up significantly faster. Oh wow, we could do that. Simply a little bit more intuitive. We'll have an independent versus of Google Now versus Siri. They claim to have improved Siri substantially. Another thing to remark on is see how brilliant and white the whites are on the iPhone 5. That's inherent due to the fact that this is an IPS LCD, which is capable of producing much whiter whites, whereas this is an AMOLED HD. AMOLED HD will produce richer colors, but white is not its strong suit. In fact, it consumes the most power. So if you're a person that does web browsing a lot, maybe perhaps you will like an LCD-based device, be it the iPhone or an HTC device or an Optimus 4X HD. What else? So, bring it down, obviously we have a micro USB, the ability to throw any kind of content you want on there, and through Google Play you can pretty much make this your computer. You can look at PDFs, you can Flash, gaming. There's a ton of different stuff you can do with Android. Obviously it's highly customizable, but the fact that you can just throw files on through a micro USB is very convenient. Obviously we know iTunes, iTunes, iTunes. Other than that, we have MHL connectivity, and MHL stands for mobile high definition link. I might mix that up, I'm sorry, but either way it doesn't matter. The point is that this is capable of connecting to an HD TV with a small dongle, making it potentially capable of bringing it over to a friend's house and you can just watch movies, just have them stream on an HD TV. You can do that too, but it also requires a very expensive dongle from Apple. Other than that, Galaxy Nexus hasn't been one of the best-selling devices, but you know, it didn't really have a strong marketing campaign, but it is a pure Google experience device, and that's why we have Android 4.1. Everyone's seen the advantages of having sort of a vertically controlled situation. Apple can push updates out to the devices quickly, So you're always going to have the latest and greatest version of their operating system. And with Galaxy Nexus devices, or Nexus devices in general, you will have the latest and greatest version of Android on there too. Moving on to that, we know the iPhone 5 has considerable demand behind it, and they sold over 2 million devices in less than 24 hours after launch, making it one of the best-selling devices in history, if not the best-selling. Now, let's just go and check out something cool. I've cleared the cache on both devices. I'm going to load up AndroidAuthority.com to see what loads faster. Now, so this is basically there we go, Android Authority. There we go, okay. Thank you. Okay. All right, here we go, guys. 3, 2, 1. Oops. I just have to hold that one down then. I can assure you this is not easy. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, we're off to the races. Who's going to win? Da, 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 da. Okay. So it appears the Galaxy Nexus is in the lead. No, it's not. No, the iPhone 5 is winning. And that doesn't actually seem problematic at all. I mean, the processor that's contained within the iPhone 5 is about 200 to 250% more powerful than the TI OMAP dual-core. This is an architectural leap ahead with the A6 processor. Brilliantly smooth project butter, akin to the iPhone. As we've seen with other Versuses that you've probably looked at, the iPhone 5 takes the cake when it comes to fluidity of browser operation and pinch to zoom. It's set the industry standard. But with Android 4.1 Jelly Bean and all the devices that are coming forward, we're seeing that the browsing is very comparable and very smooth on both. In fact, the video camera that we're recording this on is recording at 30 frames a second, and it is not enough to justify how smooth both of these devices are. Really, really remarkable. In fact, it would be very, very difficult to tell the difference. Other than that, you know, we're just looking at two of the hottest devices on the market. There will be a new Galaxy Nexus. Rumors are already indicating that a Galaxy Nexus 2 is in the works to feature latest generation processing technologies, a high resolution display, better camera, and the latest version of Android on board. And that's when the real showdown will begin. For now, we have the iPhone 5, 4-inch profile, nice and thin, beautiful metallic body. And the Galaxy Nexus, obviously a larger device, but one of the best on the market still and loved by many. So this is our first look and versus of the Galaxy Nexus versus iPhone 5. Thanks for checking it out, guys. We hope you liked the vid. Leave us a comment below and let us know which one you like better. Hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for checking it out.